Hello, my friends. John LaRuffa here with another Straight Up Solo. And in this episode, we're going to take a look at fountains. All right, let's get started. Okay, folks, and as usual, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. And if you have, I really do appreciate that support. Thank you very much. So I'm just about halfway in a solo game. And the way the fountains work in the solo game is you play the game exactly like you normally would in the multiplayer, but the solo opponent will move around this little gear one space at a time and take the tile or the situation that he comes through with regards to what space he's on. And this is a tile drafting game, okay? So basically, when you move a pawn, you can move any of the three pawns. When it stops on one of these areas here, you draft that tile and you have to put it into your fountain. There's a couple of rules with the fountain. Number one, water has to flow to all the different pools. If it doesn't, the fountain gets stagnant and that pool does not count for any rewards. And so you can see these little water spouts right here, which is where the water's flowing. And of course, water flows downhill and will flow across any opening on adjacent levels. So this fountain, for instance, is supplying water here, down to here, and to all these pools. But if I, for whatever reason, decided I was going to build this pool right here, you can see that there is no flowing fountain there. So this entire tile would not count for any rewards, okay? Now, what are these rewards? Well, there's basically a couple of types. First of all, there's coins. Those you get 5 points for if you place them on the board one time when you place them, as long as there's water flowing to it. Then there's the rewards of the number of pools. That scores when this blue token lands on this spot, or when the AI's little gear ring lands in that spot. And then you score for the total number of pools. And what happens is it's a majority. So the person who has the most pools, which is the individual divided bodies of water that are not stagnant, will get 7 points. The other person gets nothing. Okay? So if I was to score that right now, I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'd have the most. I get 7 points. Next thing you score for is lily pads. You're going to look for the most number of lily pads in the adjacent pool. So like if I had this situation right here, I'd have 4 adjacent lily pads. But if I had one, let's say over here, this lily pad by itself would not be in this group. So I'd look for my largest group, and then I'll score 1 point per level it's on. So these are on level 1, that'd be worth 3 points. This is on level 2, it'd be worth 2 points. The AI scores all its lily pads on just 1 point per lily pad. Then you have this, which is the number of fish of specific color. There's 3 colors of fish in a wild. The wild looks like this. The other colors are the black, the white, and the orange. The way it works is you would choose, if you landed on this space with the white pawn, which category of fish you'd score, and all the fish you have in that category would score according to their level, like I just told you. Level 1 on the bottom, level 2, etc. When the AI scores that area, they basically will pick the one that will get them the most points, and they choose that. Now, in all cases, when there's a scoring, all people will score that category, okay? Last thing is these little tiles here, they fill in these shadowed regions. You can see I put one on there. Kind of enhances your fountain when you move there. The game ends when this guy moves around twice. He is about to go to the first time moving here. He starts there. When he goes again, the game will end, and then you'll do one final scoring. The person with the most points will win. And when you're playing the AI, you have a difficulty setting you can choose from that will tell you how many points you get based on what difficulty level you're on. I basically explained the whole game. It is really that simple, but it's intriguing in how it does its 3D layer puzzling and everything else. So right now it is, I believe it's my turn. And let me see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, it's my turn. You start, and what I'm going to do is I want to draft a tile that's going to help me build this up a little bit more. And the best place I think I can do that would be to start building off of this, because I've got a fountain that will go there. However, this is really nice to have, so it's probably better that I expand here first and then lay in plans to do some of that. So let's see. In order to do that, a good tile would be something concave like this, most likely. Even something like this isn't bad to start. At least it starts building out. But I can't go there because the pawn's already there. So probably the best thing to do, at least that's the way I'm going to do it really quickly so we can keep going, is to move here and take this tile and put it, let's do this. Let's put it right here. I don't want to do that. We'll put it right here, and I'll start to try to expand out so I can get like a level 2 layer going, score some more points. Now he's going to go here. He will, when he goes to this bonus spot, choose, he'll get all 3 of the tiles for where the pawns are. So he gets a bunch here. That's going to give him 5 points immediately. And this is going to give him 5 points immediately. So that's rough. Scores a lot of points for those coins, so you got to be careful you don't let that happen too often, especially like that. All right, so it comes back to me. I'd like to score those lily pads, and unfortunately, this little pool right here will break up my pad area right there unless I find a way to connect it, which I don't think I'm going to. However, what I could do for the time being is do this, go here. I could take this double lily pad and put it right here, and now it's not broken up anymore. Now I have one big, large thing, which is good. Now he's going to go, he's going to score, he's going to take this and score for lily pads. Whoops. And what does he have? He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he has 6. It's going to put him to 28. My biggest grouping is right here, and I'm going to get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 right there. So I'm going to take 9, which puts me at, let's see, 36. So you got to be thinking about what he's going to do, what he's going to score, and what's going to come next. Basically, you're going to keep on going with this whole thing until the game's over, and then the person with the most points wins. That's kind of what you're doing here. So it's a pretty simplistic puzzle game with some little quirks to it, and a definite benefit to try to build up and build higher for more points. And if you are going to win against the medium or hard or even easy bot, you really have to be paying attention to how to take some risks to scale things up and not just put all over the place and see what happens. All right, let me tell you what I think about it. So Fountains is a totally serviceable little tile placement drafting game, which works out really well for the simplicity of what the game is. It's definitely light medium, I would say. It is something that does very similar things that you've probably seen in other different games, with the twist of the kind of 3D building and putting on top of each other in the same way that like Number 9 kind of felt a long time ago. I remember playing that game. Well, that game doesn't really have a solo per se. I guess it does, I think it does have some variant. Anyway, point is that this game is pretty simple to set up, play, and put away in under a half hour for sure. And the quickness of the game and how easy it is to set up because of this great insert, which I really do appreciate, makes for a very positive experience. However, it's not something I don't think is going to blow away somebody who has a lot of different games in their collection. And I kind of fall into that. Like, I'll definitely play this game several more times, but I don't see it lasting for me, only because once I outfox the AI and I really kind of learn how to score well, then I could see things kind of going down a little bit from an excitement. There's not like there's a bunch of scenarios or things like that, but it is totally a fine game with some decent challenge, especially with the bot being relatively difficult to beat. So I do appreciate that. And I like the fact that it is, for the most part, like a perfect information sort of game. I mean, you don't see what's under the tiles as you draw them, but you get to choose where you're going to put the pawn. And there's a lot of strategy based on which pawn do I move, which one do I want to advance, how many times do I think I want this thing to score, is it the right time for me to score? And that is cool. That adds, I think, to the experience a lot and doesn't make it just a mindless tile drafting game. But other than that, there's not something that special about the game. It's okay. It's okay. I definitely will play it for a while, but I don't see it lasting in my collection forever. However, there is definitely an audience out there for this. And this is a great game if you wanted to learn, like introduce other people into the gaming hobby. I could definitely see that this would be a very fun game for people who've never played anything like this, and it would be a great gateway game to bring them in. And so the fact that it has a solo, I really do appreciate that, because that's a big benefit. That's how I got it. So take that for what it's worth. This is the kind of game you're getting with Fountains, and it's going to be just fine. It flows well things go quickly, and you can have a fun experience without too many rules. And literally, I taught you how to play it basically in that brief description. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, everybody. Whatever you do in the future, I really hope you have a fantastic time doing it. Take it easy.